Students, welcome to online maths classroom. Today we are going to study your geometric progression along with geometric mean. We will finish exercise 9.3, question number 17 to 32. So let us start solving. Let us understand what is your geometric mean. Okay. Geometric mean, okay, it is that for finding the geometric mean, what you need to do is you need to multiply the numbers together and then find the nth root of the numbers, okay, such that the nth root is equal to the amount of numbers you are multiplying. Okay, so that means if you are multiplying three numbers, so what you need to do is you will multiply all the three numbers and then take its cube root. Okay, and if there are five numbers, you will multiply all the five numbers and then take its fifth root. Okay, similarly, if you are multiplying say 11 numbers, you will multiply all the 11 numbers and then take its 11th root. For four numbers, the fourth root. Okay, so similarly, if I need to find the geometric mean between two numbers, I will multiply the two numbers and then consider its square root. Okay, so this is how we take the geometric mean. So let us now sum up what was your arithmetic and geometric means. Arithmetic mean means the average sum of the your numbers terms divided by n, and geometric mean, if say there are n numbers, then you will multiply all those n numbers and take its nth root. Okay, for two numbers square root, for three numbers cube root, like this. So let us see with the help of example that if you need to find the arithmetic mean between 4 and 25, it will be simply like a plus b by 2. Okay, and for geometric mean, it will be the product of two numbers and then square root, because there are numbers are 2. Okay, so again here also, so 4 3s are 12 and the square root of it, after solving you can leave it as 2 root 3 or can change to decimal form, and for three numbers it will be like the cube root of the three numbers multiplied together. Is this clear? So now let us understand what is the relationship between arithmetic mean and geometric mean. Okay, so let if capital A is your arithmetic mean and capital G is geometric mean of two given positive real numbers A and B respectively. Okay, now we know that A is your A plus B by 2 and G is your square root of AB. Okay, this G is reduced from the terms that the terms are having the common ratio. Okay, so when you will apply this result, you will find the geometric mean or the middle one number as the square root of the other two. Okay, now let us find the difference between A and G, that is consider A minus G. So what I am going to get is A plus B by 2 minus square root of AB. Okay, so let us take the LCM. So after that I'll get A plus B minus 2 root AB by 2. Okay, now see the numerator, it can be written as root A whole square plus root B whole square. So in that way, this formula will be of root A minus root B whole square divided by 2. Now let us justify which type of number is this. Now since the numerator is always a positive number as it is a square and 2 is also positive, so this result is going to be always positive. Positive means greater than equal to 0. Okay, either it is greater than 0 or it is equal to 0 but will never be less than 0. So that means A minus G is greater than equal to 0. That means we obtain a relationship that your arithmetic mean is always greater than, or maximum times it can be equal, but in general it is always greater than the geometric mean. Okay. So if A and B are positive numbers, then arithmetic mean is given by A plus B by 2. Geometric mean is given by square root of AB for two numbers. And there is one more mean which is not in the syllabus, but you should know it. It is called as harmonic mean. Okay, harmonic mean, and is given by 2 times AB divided by A plus B. Okay, harmonic progression is one whose reverse term frame AB. Okay, so it is given by 2 times AB divided by A plus B, or in other terms, that this geometric mean whole square divided by the arithmetic mean will give you the harmonic mean. Okay, so let us start with the exercise 9.3 and solutions of remaining questions of the exercise. from 17 to 32. Question number 17 says if 4th, 10th and 16th term of a GP are XYZ respectively, prove that XYZ are in GP. Okay, XYZ are in GP. So that means that the ratio of these terms is same. That means y upon x equal to z upon y. Okay, or y square equal to xz. Whatever you want to prove, that way will be suitable. So let us start. Let A is the first term, R is the common ratio. So according to question, A4 is your AR cube, which is x. A10 is your AR 9, which is y. A16 is your AR 15, which is z. Okay. So let us divide number 2 by 1 and then 3 by 2. Okay. From this first expression, I get y upon x, okay, as r raised to power 6. Similarly, by dividing 3 by 2, I also get z by y equal to r raised to power 6. Okay. And on comparison, I will find y upon x equal to z upon y. So what does it mean? Y upon x equal to z upon y? That the three numbers are in GP. Second way is you prove that since the numbers are in GP, so that means I can also prove that y square is equal to xz. Okay, and in that way y will be equal to square root xz. That is not required to be proved, or middle one square is equal to the product of other two. That is also the way, as we have done earlier in the some question also, that you can take y square and then multiply x and z. Okay, and then you can get both the answers same. Question number 18. These questions are also very important, and a definite pattern is here. You have to follow some pattern to solve such questions. That you have to find the sum of n terms of this sequence. See the pattern of this sequence: 8, 88, 888, 8888 and so on. So the given sequence is this. Okay, so it is not a GP. You can see it is not still GP. You will not find the common ratio same. So you have to change it to GP, and in such questions where this repeated numbers are there, whether in decimal or without decimal, there is a pattern. Okay, every GP will be treated like this. Okay, to make it GP, it will be treated like this. What you will do is you will take the number, say whatever is repeating that common, 8. Okay, and you have to bring inside 9, 99, 999. Okay, in questions where decimal is not involved. So what will I do? I'll take 8 common and divide and multiply it with 9. So what will it become? Because after taking 8 common, it will be 1 plus 11 like this. So it will become 999, 999, 999 and so on, so up to n terms. Okay. Then express it as 10 minus 1, 10 square minus 1, 10 cube minus 1, 10 4 minus 1 and so on, so up to n terms. Okay. So see how many 10s are there. I'll just get as first as GP. 10 plus 10 square, I'll separate them. 10 cube, so on, so up to n terms. Minus, how many times 1 is there? 1, 1, 1, 1 up to n terms. Okay, 1 plus 1 plus 1, so on, so up to n terms. So it becomes 8 by 9. This is GP with A as 10 and R as 10. And since R is greater than 1, I'll use that formula. Sn is equal to Rn minus 1 upon R minus 1. Okay. And this is your 1 multiplied n times is n. So I'll solve it. 8 by 9, 10 into 10 raised to power n minus 1 into 9 minus n. Now open it. It will become 80 upon 81 into this complete thing. 10 raised to power n minus 1 and minus 8 by 9 n. Okay. So this much is sufficient. Number 19. Question number 19 is find the sum of product of corresponding terms of sequence 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 128, 32, 8, 2 and half. There are two sequences, okay? Two GPs, 5 terms each. You have to find the sum of products, okay? Sum of their products. So you will not go directly like 2 into 128 and you will multiply and then add up. You have to use the concept of GP, okay? So required sum will be your like this. It will be 2 into 168 as you have to multiply the corresponding terms, plus 4 into 32 plus 8 into 16, 8 into 8 plus 16 into 32 plus 32 into half. Okay. So corresponding terms. Can I take 64 common? Yes. Okay. So 64 common, when I will take, I will find it as 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus half square. Okay. and it's clearly a GP. Okay, with first term 4 and common ratio as half. And now since it is less than 1, I'll apply the formula a into 1 minus r raised to power n 1 minus r, and after solving it I'll get the answer as 496. Okay. 20th question says show that product of corresponding terms of sequence AR square ARn minus 1 and capital A capital AR like this ARn minus 1, they form a GP. You have to find the common ratio. So it's same as the previous question. The sequence will be your like corresponding terms when will be multiplied. The sequence will be like here, when I will multiply this and this, it will be like A into capital A, small a, capital A into R like this. Okay. So when I will find this your common ratio, this will be your second term divided by the first. So what will be the second term? It will be AR into this AR divided by the first term. First term is your A into A, and that is your RR. Similarly, I can get that third term will be your AR square into this AR square, that is okay, divided by the previous ones, that is AR into AR. That will also give me RR, okay, small r into big R. So thus above sequence forms a GP and the common ratio is small r into R. Okay. Question number 21. Question number 21 says find 4 numbers forming a GP in which the third term is greater than the first by 9 and the second is greater than the fourth by 18. Okay. So let us the first term R is the common ratio. Then you know the 4 terms can be taken as first is A, second AR, third is AR square and fourth is AR cube. Okay. Now let us frame the conditions which are given here. Third term is your greater than by first term by 9. So A3 is A1 plus 9. So I get AR square is equal to A plus 9 by applying the formula of AN. Okay. And the second condition is your A2 is A4 plus 18. A2 means AR is equal to AR cube plus 18. Now in number 1, take this A to one sides. So I'll get A and then take common. This becomes R square minus 1 equal to 9. And for the second one, here in this second equation, you can take AR minus AR cube. So AR is common. That is 1 minus R square is equal to 18. Now you divide this 4 by number 3 as I need to reduce it because I need to get either of A or R. So on dividing this 4 by 3, this becomes gives the value of R as minus 2. Okay. And by resubstituting in any of the previous condition, I'll get A as 3. Okay. And the numbers were AR square and AR cube. So by putting the values, we get AR square and AR cube, and the numbers are 3 minus 6, 12 and minus 24. Question number 22. If the pth, qth and rth terms of GP are ABC respectively, prove that A raised to power Q minus R, B raised to power R minus P, C raised to power P minus Q is equal to 1. So this question is like we have done one of this kind in AP also. So let us start with it. As this is involving small a, so I'll take capital A as the first term and capital R as the common ratio. Now the pth term will be AR raised to power P minus 1, which is equal to small a by using formula of AN. Similarly, the qth term is AR Q minus 1, that is B. Okay, it is given here. And AR raised to power R minus 1 is C. Okay, now as I need to multiply them, okay, all of them, and for it I just need A raised to power Q minus R. So what will I do is I will raise the power of both sides with of this equation with Q minus R, of this second equation with R minus P, and the third one with P minus Q. Okay, and then I'll multiply all of them. Okay, so what I'm going to get is what we have done is I'll multiply this as this will become as your this as this result is towards your this side, left hand side, that is A raised to power Q minus R, B raised to power R minus P, C raised to power P minus Q. This is equal to this complete raised to power your what is it raised to power as Q minus R. So it is your a raised to power q minus r into r raised to power p minus 1, and as the power is q minus r, it will be multiplied. Similarly, all it is here is in multiplication. Similarly, for the second one, a raised to power r minus p, and this raised to power r raised to power q minus 1 into r minus p, and similarly for the third. Now, as the bases are same as you can see a powers will be added in the numerator. So when you will add up the powers, you will find that a raised to power is coming out to be as your 0. And similarly for r, you have to open all the brackets, okay, multiply the factors, and when you will multiply, you will get the sum turning out to be 0. Okay, so we get a raised to power 0 into r raised to power 0, which is equal to 1. Okay, and which was our required condition to be proved. Question number 23. Question number 23 of NCERT says, if the first and nth term of GP are a and b respectively, and p is the product of n terms, prove that p square is equal to ab raised to power n. So let us start solving. The first term of GP is your a, and the nth term is, let the last term is p. Okay, so GP is like ar square, ar cube, and the last term, that is the nth term, is like ar raised to power n minus 1 with common ratio r. Okay, now b is your last term, so b is your ar raised to power n minus 1. Okay, this is your number 1 equation. P is the product of n terms. So let us see how will you take the product as a into ar square, so on, so up to ar raised to power n minus 1. Okay, so let us start separating a. How many times it is multiplied? It is multiplied n times. Okay, so it is like a into a, so on, so up to a. Okay, up to n times. And the second one is your r. R is starting from here, see, r1, r square, so on, so up to, it is up to r raised to power n minus 1. Okay, so a multiplied with n times. Okay, n times it is multiplied, so that means it will become a raised to power n. Okay, and r, see, the numerator of r, or the top side of the powers of r, they are like 1 square, okay, square, cube, and so on, so up to n minus 1. So in the powers there will be a, as it is not GP, okay, because sum to n terms is not there, so it itself is not GP, but the numerator is like, I will, bases are same, I'll express it as powers are added. So like r raised to power 1 plus 2, so on, so up to n minus 1. Okay, now see here, this is your AP, the numerator is an AP, and you know sum of first n natural numbers is given by your sum of first n natural numbers is given by n into n plus 1 by 2. So in that way I can derive that this sum is given by your, okay, otherwise I can use the formula of sum also, but it will be given by this n into n plus 1 by 2. So n plus 1 will be your n, and this n will be this one. So n into n minus 1 by 2. We have worked out it in your EP also. Okay, so this becomes your n into n minus 1 by 2. So what does it becomes? P is your e raised to power n, r raised to power, this sum is your n into n minus 1 by 2. Now I need to find p square. P square will be squaring both sides. This is a raised to power. Now square of this will be a raised to power 2n, and of r will be this 2 cancelled, so it is just n into n minus 1. Okay, so this is your p square. Now let us frame ab raised to power n. ab is your, a is the first term, so a is itself a, and your p is ar raised to power n minus 1, and its whole power n is you have to take. So a into b will become a square into this your r raised to power n minus 1. Okay, now open this powers, you will get same side itself, it is a into a. Okay, if I separate it as a into a r n minus 1. Okay, then raised to power n, this is your a, and this itself by number 1 is your b. Okay, so it becomes ab raised to power n by using equation number 1, and this I think we were required to prove that p square is equal to ab raised to power n. Okay, question number 24. Question number 24 says that Show that ratio of sum of first n terms of GP to sum of terms from n plus 1th to 2nth term is 1 by r raised to power n. Okay. Now see, sum of first n terms, you know, when your first term is a and common ratio is r, is given by the formula a into 1 minus r raised to power n upon 1 minus r. Because in general we use the formula of r less than 1. Okay. So that formula we use. Now from n plus 1 to 2n, how many terms are there? N terms are there. Okay. Now see, what is the nth term? En is your ar n minus 1. Okay. The power of r is 1 less than the term. So that is nth term is your having r raised to power n minus 1. So the n plus 1 term will be having ar raised to power n. It will be having the terms like ar raised to power n. Okay. And so on. So okay, up to 2nth terms. So what is the first term? First term is your ar raised to power n. Okay. The same formula we have to replace this. As for this GP, the first term was a. So and common ratio is same for both of them, that is r. So this was your Sn formula, sum of n terms. And now from the sum from n plus 1 to 2nth term, it will be like the first term is ar raised to power n and r is same because common ratio is same, so rest is same. Okay. Now what will I do is I will find the required ratio. Ratio of sum to first n terms means this divided by this. Okay. From this to this. Okay. So when I will divide, everything will be cancelled except your this 1 upon r raised to power n, which is the required ratio. Number 25 says if ABCD are in GP, show that these two sides are equal. Now let us start solving. How do we solve such questions? Since ABCD are in GP, that means your BC is equal to AD. Okay. Product of these two is equal to the first and last. Okay. That means if I take this first three, then B square is equal to AC. Okay. And C square is equal to BD, like this. Three numbers in GP if we are taking, then this will be the condition. Okay. BC is equal to AD. The middle one is equal to the product. Okay. Now it has to be proved. These two sides are to be proved equal. So let us start placing. Okay. We will take the right hand side, this one. Okay. Now AB plus BC plus CD whole square. AB is your AB, BC. BC is your B and C. Okay. Using your equation number 1. BC is your AD and CD is your CD whole square. We have not replaced it. Okay. Now it becomes AB plus from these two D into A plus C whole square. D is common. Okay. Now what is your, this is your AB. Okay. AB and this is your say AD, AB plus this D times this. So this formula is like A plus B whole square. So let's open is like A square plus 2AB plus B square, this complete square. Okay. So A square B square plus, let's open it and use this equation number 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1 and 2 we will be using. Okay. So it becomes your 2 times A square C square plus 2 times AC BD plus D square, and this complete is again open this square. Okay. A plus C whole square. And by rearranging and using this equation number 1, 2, 3, you will be able to prove that we will be having this as your sum of terms we are obtaining. And after reducing and taking the things common, we will find that it can be reduced to factors like A square plus B square plus C square into B square plus C square D plus D square. That is your required left hand side. The other interesting way of proving this question is that what you can do is you can consider the ratios like ABCD are in GP. That means B upon A equal to C upon B equal to D upon C. Let it equal to R. Okay. Okay. And that way is also there of solving this question. Now the alternative way of doing this question is also there. So you may find it much easier. So let us see with it. Now since ABCD are in GP and you have to show this equation is equal to this. Okay. So since ABCD are in GP, and let the common ratio is R. So ABCD are in GP means B upon A equal to C upon B equal to D upon C, and all are equal to R. Okay, as the common ratio is same. Now B will be equal to, I will equate them individually, that is B upon A equal to R means B is equal to AR, similarly C is equal to BR, D is equal to CR. Okay, now I will change everything to your AR. Okay, and as you know also the terms except first term are like AR, AR square, AR cube, that way also it can be done. So B is equal to AR, C will become, by putting the value of B here, AR square, and by putting the value C here, D will become AR cube. Now consider your left hand side, and I will replace the values of your B and C, okay, and D. So look here, what will I get? A square is A square, this B square will be your A square R square, okay, A square R square, and C square is your A square R4. Similarly, replace BCD the values here, and from here you can take A square common, it is 1 plus R square plus R4. From here A square R square is common, you will get 1 plus R square plus R4. So it becomes A4 2 2 A4 R square and 1 plus R square plus R4 whole square. So this is your side number 1. And now solve this one, AB plus BC plus CD whole square. So your replace B by again AR. So this is A into AR, B value is AR square plus AR square AR cube, and this is inside your whole square. So from here A square R cube, this is A square R5 whole square. From here I can take A square R common. See, it is present with everyone. But when I'll take it out of the square, it becomes A square R square. A square R whole square common. And inside I get 1 plus R square plus R4 whole square. Okay. So it also becomes your A square, your A4R square times this complete number, which is your same as the equation number 1. So by 1 and 2 we get that this value is equal to this value. Question number 26. It says that insert two numbers between 3 and 81 so that resulting sequence is GP. Same as like AP, we inserted some numbers. Now here we have to frame a GP with two inserted numbers. So let G1, G2 be the two numbers inserted between 3 and 81. So the series 3, G1, G2 and 81 form a GP. Okay, those numbers are in between. Okay, that is the first term, R is the common ratio. Now see from here, first term is your 3. Okay, this is the second term, this is the third, and this is the fourth. So it is very much clear that your fourth term is your 81. So fourth term means it is AR cube, it is 81, and the value of A is 3. So from here I can get R cube is 27, where R is equal to 3. Okay, R is equal to 3. Now we can calculate your G1, as it is this sequence is your increasing one. So we can say G1 is your second term, and that is your AR, and from A and R I can calculate A is 3, R is 3. I can calculate the term is 9, and for G2 it is AR square, which is 27. So 9 and 27 are the two numbers to be inserted. From here, this kind of question you have done in your previous exercise also for AP. Find the value of n so that e raised to power n plus 1 plus b raised to power n plus 1 upon an plus bn may be the geometric mean between a and b. Okay, so you know, first the geometric mean between a and b is given by root ab, and this is also the geometric mean. So what we need to do is we need to equate both of them. Okay, so we will equate both of them. Now what we can do is either you can square or you just can keep on multiplying. So whatever way you want to go, that will be okay. So to remove this square root, I will square. I have squared it here. That means this complete square divided by this also whole square, and this is equal to AB. Now open it as, you know what is an plus 1 whole square will be. It is your an plus 1 whole square will be 2 will be multiplied with n plus 1, that is a raised to power 2n plus 2, and this becomes plus b raised to power 2n plus 2 plus 2 times this a raised to power n plus 1 into b raised to power n plus 1. This becomes AB, and this will become a raised to power 2n plus b raised to power 2n plus 2 times an bn, and that can be taken to here cross multiplied. Now open all of them. Okay, everything you just multiply this also, rearrange the terms, okay, as we have rearranged in the previous question of APs. Okay, what you will find is you will take everything to other side. Okay, and we will get the equations as e raised to power 2n plus 2 minus e raised to power 2n plus 1 times p is equal to ab 2n plus 1 minus p raised to power 2n plus 2. Okay, and here from here also I can take, as it is having some extra power plus 1, it is like e raised to power 2n plus 1 plus 1. So I can take e raised to power 2n plus 1 common from here, and we get from here as a minus b, and from here b raised to power 2n plus 1 is common, and we get a minus b here. Okay, so a minus b cancelled. Okay, so divide to bring 1 to other side, divide by this b raised to power 2n plus 1 both sides. So I get it as a upon b raised to power 2n plus 1, which is 1, and can be written as a by b raised to power 0. So anything raised to power 0 is 1. Okay, so bases are same, powers can be equated. So 2n plus 1 equal to 0, that is n is equal to minus half. 28th question says the sum of two numbers is 6 times their geometric mean. Show that numbers are in ratio. This ratio is required. Okay, this is also a very good question. So let the two numbers be a and b, and you know what is the geometric mean is root ab. Now the question says that sum of two numbers is 6 times their geometric mean, 6 times root ab. Now similarly, this question can also be done by componendo and dividendo, and by the way we have used in the previous question. Now since componendo and dividendo is very new concept to you, you have not started, so I'll better again start squaring both sides. So squaring both sides, what will I get? I'll get a plus b whole square equal to 36 times ab. Okay. Also, what is your a minus b whole square? Can I write a minus b whole square as a plus b whole square minus 4ab? How? Because you know it is a square plus b square minus 2ab, and this is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So plus 2ab is to be written as minus 2ab. What I need to do is I have to add 2ab and subtract 2ab. That means I will have to write it like this: a plus b whole square minus 4ab when opened will be having same value. Okay, so a plus b whole square is your 36 times ab minus 4ab, that is 32 ab. Okay, as I need to find both the values of a and b, so we have worked it out in many ways that whenever you are having a plus b, it's better to get for a minus b. So a minus b, after taking square root, it becomes square root 32 square root ab, or we can write it as say 4 root 2 root ab. Okay, this is number 2. Okay, now what can I do is I can add your number 1 and number 2. So adding number and 1 and number 2, as b is negative, I'll get 2a is equal to 6 plus 4 root 2 times root ab. Okay, as this 6 plus 4 root 2 times root ab. Okay, okay, so can I take 2 common from here? Yes, and that will cancel the 2 on other side. So a is equal to your this thing. Now substituting this value of a to get the value of b, and we can place it here, and after solving it we'll get the value of b as this. Okay, 3 minus 2 root 2 root ab. And now on dividing this, your value of e by b, you will, this root ab will be cancelled, and we'll get the desired ratio as required in the question. This question can also be done in some other way, and you may find it easier, that let two numbers are a and b. Okay, and geometric mean between them is given by root ab. Now according to question, a plus b is equal to 6 times root ab. Okay, up to here everything is same. Now what we can do is I can write here as a plus b is equal to 2 times root ab into 3. Okay, I just bifurcate this, factorize this 6 as 2 into 3, and we'll take out 3 from this. Okay, this included in one bracket and this to other side. Okay, now I will just divide both sides by 2 root ab, or I'll just take it to denominator. So it becomes a plus b divided by 2 root ab is equal to 3 by 1. Okay, now I'm going to use one method which is called as componendo and dividendo. Componendo and dividendo method is used in case of ratios. And see, I'm just giving you example how it is applied, that if a upon b is equal to 3 upon 1, say some ratio is there, a upon b is equal to 3 upon 1, then componendo and dividendo all together. Componendo means the numerator should be expressed as the sum of numerator and denominator, and dividendo means that the denominator is expressed as the difference of numerator minus denominator. Okay, and both all together means that componendo and dividendo means that a plus b means add b to the numerator divided by subtract b from the numerator. Okay, every time numerator will be written first. So it's become a plus b divided by a minus b. So it also becomes 3 plus 1, and in the denominator 3 minus 1. So we get 4 by 2. So this is what we mean by componendo and dividendo. And by using it, we will just firstly add 2 root ab in the numerator. So it becomes a plus b plus 2 root ab, and denominator becomes a plus b minus 2 root ab. Okay, and this becomes 3 plus 1 upon 3 minus 1. Now look at it carefully. It becomes root a whole square plus root b whole square plus 2 root ab, and denominator is also like this. Okay, is equal to 2 upon 1. Now see carefully, it is actually your root a plus root b whole square, and this is your root a minus root b whole square, which is equal to 2 by 1. Okay, taking square root, I will get root a plus root b upon root a minus root b is equal to root 2 by 1. Okay, now I have to get the value of a and b. So again I will use componendo and dividendo. So what will it be like? You will take both of them, add it in the numerator, and then this minus this complete thing. Okay, so see from here, root a plus root b plus root a minus root b divided by root a plus root b minus this complete. Okay, numerator minus denominator here, and this becomes root 2 plus 1 upon root 2 minus 1. So after solving it, it becomes 2 root a, and by opening the bracket, I'll get in the denominator as 2 root b, and this is your root 2 plus 1 upon root 2 minus 1. So 2 gets cancelled. I get root a upon root b is equal to this root 2 plus 1 upon root 2 minus 1. Now I need to get a upon b, so I'll square both sides, and squaring both sides, this becomes a upon b, and this is your a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square, that is root 2 square is 2 plus 1 plus 2 root 2, and denominator is your 2 plus 1 minus 2 root 2, and which is your 3 plus 2 root 2 upon 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay, so this is also one way of working out this question. Now let us see question number 29. 29 says, if a and g are arithmetic mean and geometric mean respectively between two numbers, positive numbers, prove that the numbers are a plus minus root of a plus g into a minus g. Now answer is, how will we start? It is given a and g are arithmetic and geometric mean. So a is a plus b by 2, g is root ab. Okay. Also from this equation number 1 and 2. Okay. From equation number 1 and 2, what we get, that a plus b equal to cross multiply 2a, and ab is equal to g square by squaring, equation number 2. Okay, now we will substitute these values of a and b from equation number 3 and 4 in your identity. A minus b whole square is equal to a plus b whole square minus 4ab. Okay, in this identity is complete. This is, if you will open it, both sides become equal. I'll put the values of a plus b and ab from 3 and 4 in this identity. So I get a minus b whole square is equal to 4a square minus 4g square. Okay, 4a square minus 4 times ab means 4g square. 4 common, a square minus g square, which is your opening a square minus b square as a plus b into a minus b. I'll get it as 4 times a plus g into a minus g, and taking your square root, I'll get a minus b as 2 times a plus g into a minus g whole square root. This becomes number 5. Now from equation number 3 and 5, what we can do is how to get the values from equation number 3 and 5. Okay, now a plus b is your 2a, a minus b is your this complete thing. Okay, so I'll add up this. So on left hand side, what will I get? I'll get 2a, small 2a, and on the right hand side 2a plus 2 times this complete thing. Can I take 2 common? Yes. So a is equal to a plus this root of a plus g into a minus g. And when I'll substitute this value in equation number 3, similarly b will be your 2a minus this small a. Okay, so small a, the value of small a is this complete, so it becomes 2a minus a, and this will also be minus as we are subtracting, and we get it as a minus a plus g into a minus g. So your a is this, the difference is between this plus sign, and for b it is between minus sign. So I can write the two numbers are a, okay, it is common, a plus minus, okay, this complete a plus g into a minus g. Number 30 says the number of bacteria in a certain culture doubles every hour. If there are 30 bacteria present in the culture originally, how many bacteria will be present at the end of second hour, fourth hour and nth hour? Okay, you know there is some culture in which bacteria is growing at a speed that it doubles every hour. Okay, you have to tell if 30 bacteria were originally present, that means this situation is framing a GP. Okay, and the first term here is your 30. So let A is 30. Okay, and R is your doubles every year. You have to find the number of bacteria in a certain culture doubles every year. Double every year means first term is 30, next will be 60, next will be 120. So what is the common ratio? 30 is getting multiplied with 2. So R is 2. A30, R2. Okay. So what is at the end of second hour? Second hour means originally present bacteria were your first term. Okay, after 1 hour means the second term. After second hour means the third term. Is this clear? First term is the bacteria which were originally present. After 1 hour means you will get the second term. And after second hour you will get the third term. After fourth hour you will get the fifth term. Okay, like this. And after nth hour you will get the n plus 1 term. So it's simple now. E3 is your AR square using the formula AN is equal to AR n minus 1, and it becomes 30 into 2 square, that is 120. Similarly, the bacteria at the end of fourth hour will be your AR raised to power. AR raised to power. It will be your fifth term, so it will be AR4. Okay, A is 30 and 2 raised to power 4 is your 16. 16 30s are 480. So which is your number of bacteria at the end of fourth hour. And the nth hour means your n plus 1 term. I hope this is clear. So it is AR raised to power n. Simply replace the value of A and R. Okay, and it becomes 30 times 2 raised to power n. So number of bacteria at the end of nth hour will be your 30 into 2 raised to power n. Okay, just remember that as the original bacteria were your first term, so after 1 hour you will get the second term of the GP, and after second hour you will get the third term, and after fourth hour means you will get the fifth term, and after nth hour that means you will get the n plus 1th term. Question number 31. It says that what will be rupees 500 amount to in 10 years after its deposit in a bank which pays annual interest rate of 10% compounded annually. Okay, now the amount to be deposited is your 500, and this question you have to do by using the concept of your progression. Okay, now at the end of first year amount will be your, the formula is P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power time. So it becomes by solving 500 into 1.1. At the end of second year Now you know this will be square, so it will be 1.1 into 1.1. Similarly, at the end of third year, it will be 500 into 1.1 multiplied 3 times, and so on. So what does it means? After 10 years, it will be 500 into 1.1, 1.1 10 times. Okay, so that means I can write as 500 into 1.1 raised to power 10. Okay, so either you can solve it with log, or if you will leave it like this also, that will also be okay. Number 32 says, if arithmetic mean and geometric mean of roots of a quadratic equation are 8 and 5 respectively, then obtain the quadratic equation. Okay, so you know that if sum and product of roots are given, then the quadratic equation can be framed as x square minus sum of roots times x plus product is equal to 0. So let roots of quadratic equation are a and b. Now according to question, what is the arithmetic mean? It is a plus b by 2 and is given as 8. So from here I get a plus b as 16. That is the sum of roots as 16. And geometric mean is your root ab, which is given here as 5. So I get ab as 25. Okay. Now the quadratic equation, you know, x square minus sx plus b equal to 0. And I'll replace these values here and we'll get the equation as x square minus 16x plus 25 equal to 0 using equation number 1 and 2. Okay, I hope whatever is told to you is clear to you. Okay, please go through each and every question and practice well so as to understand geometric progressions. Thank you.